Good morning, Year 6. I hope you're well and ready for our final remote spelling session. We certainly hope it is anyway. Today we're going to be thinking about the statutory spelling words, challenge words, which are essentially the tricky words, the ones we might find a bit tricky and don't necessarily follow any pattern. Now, within that, we're going to need to be successful by checking last week's words, by learning new spellings, by practicing those new spellings, and then using those new spellings. Okay, as with other weeks, can you please pause the video at this point and circle the correct ones of these? So we've got interrupt, interfere, intercept, interject, internal, interim, intersperse, intertwine, and interloper. Can you circle the one that's correct, please? And if you've got sufficient time, then correct the one that's wrong as well, please. Pause the video at this point, please. Coming back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okie dokie. So interrupt has 2 R's. Interfere ends in an E. Intercept has a C, not an S. Interject ends in a T. Internal has 1 T. Interim has 1 R. Interest has an E rather than an I after the R. Intersperse ends in an E. Intertwine also ends in an E and a single I, not a double I. And interloper has an ER suffix at the end. Today, then, we're thinking about some of these statutory rules, and the best way I thought I could do this was just to really show you what these words mean and talk a little bit about them. So we've got attached, available, average, competition, conscience, controversy, correspond, embarrass, especially, and exaggerate. So attached is when something's joined together. It's a synonym for joined together. Correspond is when something's linked to something sometimes. So things which correspond are linked to something. Also, we use it as a verb which means to write letters or to send emails. We correspond with somebody. Embarrass is when you make something or somebody feel silly. So if you embarrass me, you maybe tell somebody one of my ties is not very good, and then I will feel embarrassed wearing it around school. Conscience is how we feel about things. So sometimes our conscience makes us feel good. Sometimes our conscience makes us feel bad about an action we've conducted, or sometimes we do something because we know it's the right thing to do. So I've put a picture here of Nelson Mandela in. He was what's called a prisoner of conscience. He went to prison for 27 years because he felt that the laws in South Africa were wrong and unjust because they were racist. And the way of overcoming those laws for him was to be a prisoner of conscience. We also use the word exaggerate a lot. It means to talk about how something is and maybe to extend. It's linked to hyperbole, where we exaggerate something with those 2 G's. We say something was really big. No, it was bigger. So do we get to the point where we make an impossible statement? 129% of all children in year 6 think Mr. Spring's brilliant. Probably about 3%, and that's the one I gave to a chocolate bar to. But you get the idea. Exaggeration is when we make a statement which, if not impossible, is certainly unlikely. Controversy is maybe when we have an issue which people need to address, and it might be that people disagree. So these are secondary school children, and you notice they're all boys, and they were fed up that in the summer they had to wear trousers whilst the girls were wearing skirts. And they pointed out that controversially, the rule didn't actually say that only girls could wear skirts, so they started wearing skirts to make the point that they wanted to wear shorts to school, I think. I mean, they might have wanted to wear skirts, I'm not sure, but they were making a point, and it was controversial because some people felt that it was not the right thing to do. So controversy is normally when some people disagree about an issue. Next word we've got here then is available. So when things are available, we can access them. Average is another word here, which means about in between the top level and the bottom level. There's 3 types of mathematical average. There's the mean average, where we take everybody's number and we put them in and add them together. Then we divide them by the number of numbers we've got. So some of you like 3 sweets, some of you like 5 sweets, some of you like 7 sweets. We'd add all those values together and divide them by the number of people. There's also the median, and another form of average. And those 3 forms of average are words which mean an approximate fair gauge. Competition then is sometimes when we have a competition, it's what we try and win as a noun, but it's also sometimes something that we feel that makes us to our very best. Especially is this idea that something specific for the individual. I was going to try and play this game, but I'm not sure how well it'll work. If you see the second letter here is EX, what do you think the first letter should be? Should we try with an E? Yeah, okay, so I'm thinking it might be exaggerate. What do you think the next letter is? EXI? No, okay, that's wrong. Okay, EXA. Yeah, okay, now a G. Okay, yeah. Two G's, you know. It's important to remember the two G's. What's the Do you think an R? Okay, exagger. Okie dokie. And the final missing letter is that T, I think. So exaggerate. Did you get that? Why don't you have a go now? What do you think this word is? Pause the video. Third letter B. What do you think the word was? Should we see? Do you think it's an I? Do you think there's an A? Give us a bit more clue. Do you think there's an O? Do you think there's an E? I think I'm feeling silly. It's embarrassed me. Okay, so I think that's embarrassed. Did you get that? I was struggling. I was really struggling with that one. So we've got our R, haven't we? We need our R and we need our S. And we have two R's and two S's. So you can see that repetition of the two letters there. Third letter M. What do you think this might be? We try our vowels first. When I'm not sure, I put my vowels in first and I hope they'll give me a clue. No A's. There is an E. Okay, so we've got E there. Is there any I's? Oh, there is an I. Oh, there's two I's. Oh, are there any O's? Oh, I'm thinking that I might want to win it. It's a well done. Okay, competition. And we need the T's and then that shun sound at the end. So the last letter is going to be the N. Okay, well done if you've managed to do those, guys. So these are the spellings for the week then. We've got attached, available, average, competition, conscience, controversy, correspond, embarrass, especially, and exaggerate. And with those, practice them after looking at them in the left-hand column. Practice them at least 3 times separately. Because it's important we understand what they mean as well as how to spell them. Try and use them in sentences, maybe even your poem, maybe even some of your summaries about the swing time video you've watched earlier today for English. Thanks, guys, for your attention. Last electronic spelling lesson will be in person next time. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.